Chemical properties of alkenes was the topic what we were discussing yesterday. And in that, we had finished with the two properties, correct? One was addition of hydrogen. You have seen if you take alkene and to that if you add hydrogen in the presence of a catalyst, you get alkanes, okay, because these hydrogen will get added up across the double bond of the alkene, okay, because one is a pi bond here, one is pi bond and one is a sigma bond. Pi bond is weaker, so able to break it and add hydrogen across that, okay. So we had an addition reaction and you are adding hydrogen, so it is called as hydrogenation. Okay, so this is one reaction which we have seen and different example I gave you. Okay, that was one first chemical property. Second chemical property was addition of halogen. So when we took alkenes and added halogen X2, where X can be any of these halogen. When you add halogen, you get vicinal dihalide because you are adding these halogen across a double bond. So one halogen will get added up to one carbon and other halogen will come to another carbon atom. Okay, so you get neighbor halogens. Okay, neighboring halogens will be formed. And if the two halogen atoms are attached to adjacent carbon atom, we call them as vicinal dihalides. Okay, so you get vicinal dihalide on halogenation. Yes, this reaction is also called as halogenation. Correct. Okay, so till here we had finished. I hope you don't have any problem with this. Now today I am going to continue with the third chemical properties. Okay, when you are making alkene to react with a different compound, that is hydrogen halide. So I am taking hydrogen halide here. Hydrogen halide is nothing but a compound which is composed of hydrogen as well as halogen. And halogen we represent as X. So X can be anything. It can be chlorine, it can be bromine, it can be iodine, it can be even fluorine. Okay, but most of the fluorine compound we don't take, you know that. So it can be any of these compound. Okay. So here now H and then X. So I am taking X, I said it can be anything. So if you take now H and then Cl, it will be HCl. Okay. HCl is the compound. Then if you take Br, it will be HBr. Okay. So you end up getting actually finally the acid. Okay. So here what we get is acid. See, H if I take with the Cl, I will get hydrochloric acid. If I take with Br, I will get hydrobromic acid. Then hydroiodic acid, Hi. All these are nothing but acid. Generally, we call them as hydrogen halides. Okay. So now we are going to take this hydrogen halide and do the reaction with alkene. Okay. So we are going to take alkene. Alkene is made to react with the HX. Okay. So it's made to react with this compound to give you, let's see what are the product which will be formed. Okay. Now before going for this addition, before I go for this addition, you need to understand two types of alkene we are going to discuss here. Okay, before I go for addition to the alkene, we are going to add two different kind of alkene. So one you will be coming across symmetrical alkene and the other one will be unsymmetrical alkene. So we are going to add these HX to two different kind of alkenes. So we will see now what is symmetrical and what is unsymmetrical. Let me start with first one. See, symmetrical alkene means if similar groups, okay, if similar groups are attached, if similar groups are attached to double bond, then we call them as symmetrical. You know the meaning of symmetry. Symmetry means from both the side when you look into, you should get the same geometry. Okay, you should get same arrangement or same design. That is what we call as symmetrical. If I cut into two pieces, I should be able to get same things. Okay, so that is what is called as symmetrical. Now here symmetrical alkene means, I said, if two similar groups are attached to a double bond, like see like this. If I have now carbon carbon double bond, on this side if I am having CH2 and the other side if I have CH2, and if I break this into two pieces, see across the double bond, because we are talking about alkene, so we will be focusing across double bond. So if I break this into pieces, I will get one fragment of CH2, another fragment of CH2. It's the same, no? Both of them are same. So then such alkenes are called as symmetrical alkenes. Okay, these alkenes are called as symmetrical. One more example I can give you. See, one more is this one, CH3, CH double bond, CH and then CH3. See, again, if I break this across a double bond, if I break them, okay, here is a double bond. So break across this. If I break them, I will get CH and then CH3, correct? Another side also, after breaking, you will be left with CH or CH3. See, the fragments are same. So when I break them across a double bond, if I end up getting same fragments, then that is symmetrical alkenes. Did you understand what is symmetrical alkenes? So the two groups which are attached to the double bond should be same. Then it's symmetrical. Okay. Now let's see what is unsymmetrical alkene. See, unsymmetrical alkene means if different groups are attached. Different if different groups are attached. If different groups are attached to double bond. Okay, if different groups are attached to double bond, then we call them as unsymmetrical alkene. Example for unsymmetrical alkene, if I take now this compound CH3 CH double bond CH2, it's propene. Okay, so if I take propene now across double bond, if I try breaking them, see, if I break across this double bond here, if I am breaking them, what will be the fragments I will get? I will get CH, then CH3. On the other side, I will get CH2. See, the fragments which I end up getting is different, correct? No, one side I got CH3, the other side I'm getting CH3 CH, and the other side I'm getting CH2. So I got different. Then we call them as unsymmetrical alkene. I can take another example now here. See, CH. This if I am taking, okay, this compound is butane or butene, I can write butane, no, 1 2 3 4 carbon, and then I am having a double bond in the first and second position. So first is the least one. So if I break now here, I will get CH2 on one side, the other side I'll get CH2 and CH3. See, different fragments I've got. So that means it is unsymmetrical. I hope it's clear to everybody. Okay, I'll repeat once again. We are going to do addition of these HX to two different kind of alkenes. One is symmetrical, I said, one is unsymmetrical. Okay. Now when you are taking symmetrical means if similar groups are attached to this double bond. Okay, so when I break them, I will get same groups. So here one is ethene. Ethene is one example for that. One more, this is butene. No, it is butene because 1 2 3 4 carbon, between second and third position I am having a double bond. So butene is the example for symmetrical alkene. Okay, so when I broke them across a double bond, I got same fragments. Okay, unsymmetrical, I told you, unsymmetrical means if different groups are attached to double bond, like this here. Okay, propene, if you take propene, if I take across a double bond, if I break, I will get CH3 CH, and the other side I'll get CH2. And if you take butene, then I will get one side CH2 and the other side CH2 CH3. Okay, so that's unsymmetrical. I believe it's clear. Yes. So I believe this much is clear to everybody. What is symmetrical alkene and what is unsymmetrical alkene? Now that you know what is symmetrical and unsymmetrical, now we shall do the addition of HX. Okay. So here I have taken example as HBr. You can take anything. Okay. HBr is taken as the example because it's there for your syllabus. So this we are going to add to the alkene. Okay. So first we are going to take this. So I'll take a symmetrical alkene. I'll take ethene, the simple one. That's ethene. CH2 double bond CH2 I'm taking. Okay, ethene I'm taking. And this I'm going to add to HBr. Okay, these two we are going to add together. Okay, now when you are adding, before that you can do charge separation here. I will write it on this side. Okay, I'm writing in the bracket because this is just for you to understand. Okay, so this is ethene molecule and then we have taken hydrogen bromide, HBr. See now, if I take this ethene and then take HBr, between H and Br there is charge separation, correct? because one is more electronegative, one is less electronegative in nature. You know, Br will carry always a partial negative charge and H will carry a partial positive charge. Now, if this molecule comes towards a non-polar molecule, this is non-polar in nature, no? This is a polar molecule because between them there is a charge separation. Two polarities are generated. If I bring this molecule towards this, you know, there will be a charge separation happening in between them also, because this is our pi bond. Here there is a pi bond. This is a sigma bond. These electrons will start moving from one place to another place. Okay. So I will shift this. This is a double bond. Okay. This I am shifting over here. Okay, I am shifting on one carbon. This bond I am shifting over here. Just we are shifting the electron density because this polarized molecule is coming towards that. Okay, so this carbon will get minus charge. One carbon can get positive charge. And now you can add them. Okay, just crisscross them. Positive charge you will take towards negative. Negative you take towards positive. Okay, so I am taking, see, this negative carbon is there, no? I'll use another color here. This negative one will take the positive hydrogen, and this negative Br minus will go towards positive carbon. Okay, so they will go towards the opposite charges because opposite attracts, correct? So I will get now a compound, the product which I am going to get here. So that will be, I have taken this negative towards this positive. So I'll get CH2 with the Br, correct? And then the other side, single bond is remaining. This negative charge will be utilized to form a bond with H plus. Okay, so what you will get here will be CH2 already was there. One more hydrogen extra you are adding. So I'll get CH3. Okay. Did you follow now how I did this addition? Because HBr by nature, it's a polar molecule. This is polar in nature. Okay. And this compound is non-polar in nature. Okay. But then when you get a polar molecule towards an unpolar molecule, they will get polarized. So I have just shifted these charges. Okay. So I have taken this electron density to one carbon, making them negative, and other carbon will lose it. So they will get a positive charge. Okay. Once this charge separation is over, you add this. Okay. This negative you bring towards this positive, and this carbon which is negatively charged, you allow them to take H plus. Okay, so then this will be the compound formed. Okay, you can do it. See, we can do it in the other way also. Suppose if I take the other side. Yeah, the other side also. Because some will ask this doubt as well. What if I shift this electron to the other carbon? Okay. Let's say I will shift this electron density on this carbon. Then I will get negative charge on this CH2 and this carbon will get positive charge. Okay. To this if I am adding now HBr. Okay. HBr, again Br is negatively charged and hydrogen is positively charged. So if this is the case now, will the product be same? What do you think? Will the product be same? If I have just shifted the, because HBr can come from any side, no, it can come from this side, it can come from that side. So electron density can go anywhere because it's a three-dimensional molecule. So minus charge can be on this carbon or it can be on the other carbon. So we will take both the possibility. So if I take both the possibility and then add them up, so now this negative carbon will take this H plus, okay, and this minus Br will go towards the plus. See the arrow mark which I have put. You can see the way I am putting the arrow mark, I am taking the negative towards the positive because negative is the electrons. Okay, negative are the electrons and electrons will always move towards the positive charge. Positive will not come towards the electron. Remember that because electrons are mobile in nature. Electrons can move. Positive charges are just deficient places. Deficiency will not move. Okay, it's just like a hole. Okay. And these electrons are like water. So we say, no, in Hindi there is a proverb. Pyasa kuएं के पास जाता है. So like that it is. Okay, so here these electrons will start moving towards the positive charge. Positive will not come towards the electron. Okay, clear? So that's how the electron density you need to shift. Now if you write here, the product if I am writing, see I will get CH2 minus charge. Then I can take one hydrogen here. So I will get CH3. And the other side, I will have CH2. And then this CH2 is positively charged, can take this Br. Okay. So now see whether the compounds are same. Are they same? I'm asking you. You all reply now. Are these compounds same if I do the addition any side of the carbon? You can name them and check out. See, if I name this, where bromine is there, I should number them first, correct? No, and this is second. So it's bromo, ethane. Okay. Come to this one. Name this also. One here and then two here. Okay. So it's bromo, ethane. Yes. So that means anywhere if I do the addition of HBr to a symmetrical alkene, the product what you are going to get will be same. Okay. So you remember only one product will be formed. If you are adding this HBr to the alkene, the product form, you can write any one product. Okay. You need not write both. So I will write any one compound now here. So I will write here this CH2 and then Br and here CH3. Okay. That's bromoethane itself is the compound which is formed. Anywhere you do the addition. Okay. So remember, the product what you are going to get will be same. Only one product you are going to get. You can just check them out. See, I have done this here. Whatever I have done here, it is just for your understanding. You don't have to do this in the exam. Only this equation is enough. This example is enough. Okay. This will be enough. Did you follow, everyone? If not, I will take another example also. Don't worry. Okay. Now you can write this down. Give the heading addition reaction of HBr to symmetrical alkene. Write ethene with HBr will give you bromoethane. Okay. So this is the only one compound which will be formed. Anyhow, the orientation is, okay, wherever the addition takes place, finally the compound is similar. Because it's symmetrical alkene. Okay. Okay, I'll take another example now. You can tell me what will be the compound. Okay. I'm taking another one. Let's see one more example. So CH3, CH double bond, CH and then CH3. Okay, this compound is butadiene. Butadiene. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, between second and third there is a double bond. So it's butadiene. To this if I am adding HBr. To this if you are adding HBr, what will be the compound formed? What will be the product? You can cross them and then add them up. Okay. Anywhere you can add, you understood just now that anywhere you add this H or anywhere you add this Br, your product will be same. If you want, I will do it here. Okay. See now if I take CH3, CH double bond CH and then CH3 and if I take HBr, okay, this is minus and hydrogen is positive. Here I can change them to any side. I will take this is a pi bond towards this carbon and I will make this carbon positive. One more possibility what I can do is I can shift this bond over here on this carbon making them negative. Okay. Then this carbon will develop a positive charge giving you CH3. Okay. Plus to that I am adding HBr. Okay. This is negative. Br is negative and hydrogen is positive. Now if you cross them and add them up, see the product. This plus will react with this minus. Okay. And this minus will react with this plus. Here ulta you do. This minus will go with this plus and this plus with this minus. Okay. What is the product you are getting? Yes. Very good. Yes, correct. So CH3 you will get C. See, I am adding Br here, no? To this side Br is coming. So CH, Br will come here. And then the other side you will have hydrogen coming. So one hydrogen was already there. One more hydrogen you are taking from this side. So you'll get CH2, then CH3. Okay. Then write down the other product also. CH3. This I am doing only for your understanding. Otherwise, I told you the product is similar. CH minus. Minus will take hydrogen. So I will get CH2. Okay. Double bond will go out. Single bond you will get. And then CH plus is taking Br. So Br over here. And then remaining is CH3. Okay. Now you name them from this side because bromine should get the least numbering. Okay. So if I am numbering them, I should number from this side. 1, 2, 3 and then 4. Okay. So it's 2-bromo 2-bromo-butane. Okay. And this side if you are numbering, the second one, I should number from towards the right hand side. So 1, 2, 3 and then 4. So second position I am having bromine. So again, 2-bromo-butane. See, the compound name is similar. That means the compound formed is same. So you can add on any side. Okay. So I will add one H over here, one Br on the other side, break this bond. So you can write CH3, CH2, then CH with Br, and then CH3. Okay. So that's 2-bromo-butane. Okay. Write down. So let me go for next one now. That is addition of HBr we are going to do for unsymmetrical alkane. Okay. So to this we will be adding now. So what do you think the product will be? Will it be same like how we saw in the symmetrical alkene, or will it be different now? So I will take the example. I am taking example of propene. Okay, I'm taking example of propene. So let's see. So CH3, then CH, then I am having double bond here CH2. Okay, to this I am adding HBr. Okay, you can do the charge separation here. So you know Br is negatively charged and hydrogen is positively charged. Okay. Now between this, the shifting of the pi bond can happen to any of the carbon. Either they can come to this carbon or they can go to the other carbon. So I will write both the possibilities. Okay. I am writing that possibility over here by shifting that pi bond. Okay. So first I will shift this pi bond. This pi bond I will shift towards this carbon first. So if I shift this pi bond, then you see I will get CH3, then I will get CH. Negative charge I am putting on that carbon. Okay. So this whole pi bond I am shifting over here. Then I will not be having a double bond. I will be left only with a single bond. Then I will have CH2. So if you see carbon valency, it's a 3. That means this carbon is deficient. Correct? So I have just shifted on this carbon. That is my first possibility. Second case, what I will do is, I will shift this pi bond towards this carbon. This is in the second case. This was the first case which I considered, because I told you the electron density can be shifted to any side depending on from where the product is, like the reactants are going to come. Okay. So another possibility, let me take CH3. Then I am shifting this pi bond towards this carbon. Okay, so that means the second carbon will become deficient now. So I'll be having this carbon with positive charge, and I've shifted that pi bond over here. So this carbon will be negatively charged. Now you add that HBr. Okay, so now we will do that addition of HBr here and then HBr on this side. Okay, so let me write that product now after doing the addition. So this is minus and then this is positive. Here it is positive. This is minus. Okay. So this negative will take this hydrogen, H plus will be taken, and this Br minus will go towards this carbon. Correct? And here this Br minus will go towards this carbon here, and then this minus carbon will take hydrogen. So you see the product CH3, then I have CH. Here one hydrogen is already there. It will take another hydrogen, so you'll get CH2. Okay. Then CH2 is linked with bromine, Br. So I have done this now. Okay. Next you see CH3. Then I am having CH here. That CH is taking Br. So I get CH, then Br. Okay. And then that remaining CH2 minus will take a hydrogen. So I get CH3. Okay. So two compounds you are getting. Rivan has already told. Yes, very good. So here, yeah, the compound is 1s here. See, 1, 2, 3. First position is bromine. So it's 1 bromo. It's 1 bromo. Or you can just write bromo. 1 bromo propane. So one compound is 1 bromo propane. And second compound is what? 1, 2, 3 if I number them. Second position I am having bromine. So it is 2 bromo. Second one is 2 bromo propane. Okay. So two products are formed now. See, when you are taking unsymmetrical alkene, you will end up getting two products. But now between those two products, no, one will be major and the other one will be minor. Okay. So that is depending on the stability. So one will be major, one compound which will be formed. is major in them and one is minor. So I will tell you which is major and which is minor. That you will understand with the mechanism. Okay. So I will be telling you the mechanism, and that's very important. Okay. These mechanisms are very important. So after telling the mechanism, I will tell you what the rule is also. Okay. This much is clear, no? What we have done just now, we took unsymmetrical alkene, we have added HBr depending on both the possibilities, because electron density, I said, can shift to any carbon. So we have considered both the possibilities of carbon, this carbon getting negative as well as this carbon getting negative, and the others will get positive charge. Okay, so in that context we got two product, one bromopropane and two bromopropane. Okay, so among these two, no, one is major, one will be formed in major quantity and one will be formed in minor quantity. So I will tell you now which is major and which is minor, that you understand through the mechanism. Okay, so we have mechanism to study here, and that's very, very important here. This mechanism, what you're going to learn, it's very important. Okay, so let me start with mechanism. The mechanism of this unsymmetrical alkene consists of three steps. Okay, there are three steps through which the mechanism proceeds. Okay, so let me start with the first step. See, now you are taking first one is HBr, because that is a polar molecule which will break down easily. So in the first step, what happens is this HBr, okay, you know that there is a charge separation between them. This is negative and this is positive, so it will break down. Okay, during the reaction this breaks down to give you H plus plus Br minus. Okay, so this will be the first step. HBr breaks down to give you H plus plus Br minus. Now here, see, between H plus and Br minus, which is smaller one, you know the size of these atom, which is smaller one, you know, no, whether H plus is smaller or Br minus is smaller in size. If you know their atomic number, then you will be able to tell which is smaller in size and which is larger in size. Yeah, H is smaller in size, correct, no? Because H is a smaller atom. First, to know, in the periodic table you have hydrogen coming in the first position, and they have only one shell. That means size wise it is smaller. So this will move faster. Okay, during the reaction, okay, this moves faster. So when you take alkene, that's propene, CH3, CH double bond, CH2 when I'm taking, okay, these H plus will move faster and come towards this propane, okay. And then when H plus comes, these pi electrons are there, no, that will start shifting towards the H plus, okay. So this pi electron you have to take towards the H plus ion. This is like electromeric effect. If you remember, I had taught you in this organic chemistry some basic concepts of organic chemistry when you studied. Okay, electromeric effect was there. No, this pi bond which is there will shift towards the electrophile. Okay, so then this will shift now. So shifting can happen now any side. See, H plus can come from this direction or it can come from the other direction. So I will take those two possibility before attacking to H plus. So now I am taking this electron density, okay, pi electron towards this carbon. Then you know, see, this is CH will lose the electron, will get positive charge. This pi bond I am shifting towards the other carbon, then CH2 will get a minus charge, okay. I am taking both the possibilities now. The other side I am shifting this pi electron to the other carbon, second carbon. Then I will get CH3, then CH will be minus charge, single bond, then you will have CH2 with positive charge. Okay, now you attack by the H plus. Okay, so now you take this H plus. Now where the H plus will go? The H plus will go towards the carbon which is negatively charged. Okay, even here you can add H plus ion. Okay, so this H plus will be taken by this carbon. Here this negative carbon will take the H plus. So see what will be the product which will be formed in the second step. Okay, so second step what you get will be, see now, CH3, this carbon is not getting anything, it's a positively charged now, CH will be positively charged, and then this carbon which was negatively charged will take the H plus. Already two hydrogen is there, plus one more hydrogen, that means you will get CH3. Okay, so this is one compound which is formed. Another side you can take this carbon, negative carbon will take H plus. So you will get CH3. Okay, already one hydrogen was there. You are adding one more hydrogen. So it will be CH2. Okay. And then you are having CH2 with the positive charge. Okay. This CH2 is with positive charge. Okay. So these are the compounds which are formed during the reaction. So I'll repeat this once again. See, in the first step, what happens is HBr being polar, it breaks down, okay, into H plus and Br minus. Now, between H plus and Br minus, H plus is like, it's a smaller one, and smaller ones will move faster than compared to the heavier ones. So it's a normal thing which you might have observed between the people also. If you have one thin person and one who is little healthy, you will see that the thin person can run faster than compared to the healthier one. Okay, so same thing happens here. So this H plus will run faster towards the alkene, and alkene has a pi bond. So that pi bond will be donated to form a bond with H plus. Okay, so that pi bond shifting can happen, I said, on any of this carbon. So I have taken both the possibility. So this pi bond we have shifted first on this carbon, minus charge has come here, and then another side I have taken to the second carbon over here. Okay, so this carbon has got negative charge. Here the first carbon was having a negative charge. So negative carbon is the electron, and electron will go towards the positive part, correct? No, so electron will be donated here to take that H plus. So this CH2 will get converted to CH3 after taking that H plus, and here this CH minus, which was minus charge, that will take H plus. So one H was there. Now another hydrogen they are taking, so you'll get CH2. Okay, and this carbon will be having positive charge. Okay, so now here we have got carbon with positive charge. What do you call for carbon with positive charge? We call them as carbocations. Correct? No, these two are nothing but carbocations. Okay. Now, do you remember the stability, students? I had spoken about different kinds of carbocation. Do you remember those? Primary carbocation, secondary carbocation we had, no? What was primary carbocation? If I have the carbon which is positively charged attached to one alkyl group, remaining two are hydrogen, okay, then this was primary carbocation. If your carbon atom is attached to two alkyl group, two R group, okay, and one hydrogen is there, then this is secondary carbocation. And if the carbon is attached to all the alkyl group, all the groups are R group, then we call them as tertiary carbocation. Do you remember among this which was the stable one? Among this, which carbocation is more stable? Primary is more stable, secondary is more stable, or tertiary is more stable? Yes, tertiary is more stable. Why also you remember, correct, no? Tertiary carbocation is more stable. Why? Because we have many groups who are donating the electron towards the carbon. So stability of tertiary carbocation will be more than compared to secondary and then compared to primary. Because here there are three groups who can stabilize them, who can donate them. And carbocations are the one who has lost their electrons. Okay. Who has lost it. So you need somebody who will give them back. So here this carbocation, okay, is more stable because they have three groups who are donating them. And here there are only two groups donating them. And this side we are having only one group which is donating them. Okay, so that's the reason why this primary carbocation is less stable. So secondary is more stable, tertiary is more stable, then we are having secondary, and then we are having primary. Now can you identify between these two carbocation? I will label this as A and this as B. Can you tell me now which among this is more stable? A is more stable or B is more stable? Yeah, everyone. Only few children are there who will be replying every time, no? Others also do reply. Yeah, A is more stable. Why? Because see, this is secondary carbocation. You see, this is secondary. And the first one, which is the second one is there, no? B1. That's a primary. Okay, this is primary carbocation, which is formed. This is primary carbocation and this one is secondary carbocation. So secondary carbocations are more stable, and the one who is more stable, no, they can show the reaction very faster. Remember that. Okay, so here this secondary carbocation which is there, which is more stable, that will react easily with who is remaining now, Br minus, because H plus has already come, no? This HBr we had broken them down to H plus and Br minus. Okay, So during the reaction, H plus, because its velocity was faster, they came easily and they reacted with propane, gave rise to this carbocation. Now, among this carbocation, who will react faster? Secondary carbocation is more reactive, so they will react faster. So that is the third step. Okay, so that's our third step, where this CH3, CH positive and CH3 will immediately react with Br minus, okay, giving rise to CH3, CH, Br and then CH3, okay. So this compound will be formed. So that means 2 bromo, no, 1, 2, 3. So 2 bromo propane will be the major compound because of the stability of carbocation, because secondary carbocation is more stable, due to which the reaction takes place faster and 2-bromopropane will be formed as major compound. It's not that 1-bromopropane will not be formed, that also will be formed, but then this will be minor, okay, this will be major one, okay, understood now?